What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon Grunewald, here as always, with John Luke Garofalo and Josh. How are you guys doing? Sorry, Jeff.
Yeah, get it straight. All right.
How you guys doing on this Monday? Good, bad, medium?
Yeah, I'm doing solid. Hey, for Mondays, in terms of Mondays, it's a pretty good Monday. Work hasn't been too nuts though.
Josh hates Mondays.
I really hate Mondays.
Josh/Jeff/ Garfield.
Jeff, whatever you want to call me. I prefer names that start with J, but I mean, at least I know you're trying to talk to me, you know?
Jarfield.
Jarfield. Yeah, exactly.
How are you, JL?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Simon?
I'm good. How was your weekend?
It was good. Productive. How about you?
It was good. And I'm going to end it there. There was some big news that dropped this weekend. We are going to mock draft today, guys. But before that, I wanted to at least touch on the huge news. Matthew Stafford traded to the Los Angeles Rams for Jared Goff and 2 firsts. Is that what it was?
Yep.
Yeah. When that came across my phone, that took me by surprise. I didn't even have time to comprehend it when it came across. I had to take a minute, sit back. What do you think the fantasy implications of a trade like this are? Is it an improvement for either or, a downgrade for either or?
It definitely an improvement for Matthew Stafford. Jared Goff, I'm not so sure. I don't think it's an improvement, but I don't know if it's that much worse. I mean, he's going to a bad team that now doesn't have 2 firsts. So I don't think it's great for him coming from McVay's offense, but for Stafford, it's a huge bump. All of the Rams receiving options, huge bump.
Wait, no, Jared Goff is going to a bad team that just got 2 firsts. Not that doesn't.
Sorry. Yeah. Mix that up. Yeah. I don't think it's, but I think the point still stands.
Yeah, 100%. Your point still stands. Just wanted to clarify that the firsts were going from the Rams to the Lions. But yeah, I think I agree with you. Stafford, I think it's a bump up. Can
you imagine if that trade was Goff and 2 firsts, or I'm sorry, Goff for Matthew Stafford and 2 firsts?
That would be almost worse than
There's a reason it wasn't.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Bill O'Brien would have had to have been the architect of that trade. What's up, Sean? He says, "What's up, Jabronis? What's up, Mayor of Jabroniville? How's it going, boys?"
What up, Jordan?
What's up, Kev? Kev hasn't even come in here yet, and he gets a hi. Who dat? What's up, Swamp?
Who dat?
And Swamp says, "What the hell is this draft?" So we can explain that a little bit. Unless Jared Goff, Josh, what does this mean for Jared Goff? Is he draftable next year? Is he droppable? No.
Hell no. Redraft? No, I'm not touching Jared Goff. I didn't really love Jared Goff with the Rams, and his situation only got worse. I just hope Kenny Golladay can find a way out of there. DeAndre Swift, in my opinion, loses a little bit of value. You can go either way on that one. Blah, blah, blah. I think he loses a little bit of value. I'm not excited for the Lions, but they're in a rebuild now. And the Rams I am excited for. I'm excited for all those. Cam Akers I like more. All the weapons I like more. So
yeah. For Goff, I think you hit the nail on the head in redraft. I don't think you're even worrying about him. It doesn't really matter. But in a Superflex Dynasty League, you keep Goff, and also this might be. There was questions around whether or not he would be the Rams starter next year, is what I'm going to say. So this news, if you are relying on starting Goff next year in a Superflex Dynasty League, you haven't made moves, he's your QB2. This is okay for you because he's
right. And if I'm not mistaken, in our league we just drafted.
Whenever I saw the news, I was like, oh no, and then I started digging into it. Yeah, he's my QB2 in that league. But
you want Tom Brady?
What'd you say?
You want Tom Brady?
He dropped really far because of the uncertainty in LA. And now, although I think the situation's worse, I think it's more clear that he's the starter. Is how I'm looking at it. I think he's in a much worse situation, but I do think he's more likely to be the starter on this Lions offense next year than he would have been had he stayed in LA.
So I've got a point there. I mean, I don't think you're wrong. He's going to be the starter, at least at the beginning of the year for the Lions. But I think more or less the Rams were making them take off to get rid of his contract. They didn't want him anymore, obviously.
That's why the 2 firsts are included.
Exactly. They're literally paying them to take Jared Goff off their hands. So I don't necessarily think the Lions have any commitment to Jared Goff. I think he will be their starter next year. He's got to play well to keep and earn that job, though.
Yeah, I'm not looking any further than next year. I just think I don't think they're going to invest any capital into a veteran QB this offseason with Goff on the roster. I think they're going for the rebuild, and Goff's a great quarterback to have if you're rebuilding.
Yeah, he'll get you that early pick, you know.
Swamp wants to know. So Higbee value goes up and Hawkinson goes down. Josh, what do you think about that?
So, like in a redraft next year, is that what context we're talking about
Yeah.
here? Yeah, absolutely. I have a lot less interest in Hawkinson in a redraft. Dynasty, I still think he has a lot of value. I think he has elite tight end upside, and that kind of talent, but the situation's bad. So,
well, and I just want to clarify because I'm pretty sure the answer is going to be yes. But in a redraft, you would still draft.
I would
Hawkinson
draft him
over.
but I would
Higbee.
wait as long. Oh yeah.
Okay. I just want just because their values went up and down, it's still Hawkinson way above Higbee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they still have Gerald Everett.
That's a great point, Joe.
Who they love. Like they drafted him high. Gerald Everett's not just some scrub on the team. They really like Gerald Everett. They invested in him. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm excited to see Stafford on the Rams. I could honestly care less a little bit about Goff on the Lions, but I'm excited to see Stafford on the Rams. Okay, today, guys, for our mock draft. Oh, I can have Jordan Love. Thank you so much for free. I can have him.
Yeah, just give it to him.
I'll call him and see how he feels about it, and then we can go from there. I don't want to just say he's on my team without talking to him first. Today, guys, for our mock draft, we are doing a tight end premium league. We wanted to mix it up a little bit, show all the different kinds of league formats. So for those of you, Justin says Everett is a free agent.
Well, that is news to me. So that is interesting. That does change.
Wait, a free agent in the NFL?
No, he's single. If you're interested.
I don't know. I believe we're in a dynasty league with Justin, right?
We are.
And
it worries me you don't know.
No, I'm just saying, he could be a free
agent
agent in the league, you know?
Yeah, no, he's a free agent, unrestricted free agent, so they'll have to re-sign him or let him go.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Good call, Justin. Good call.
Yeah, it was. I still would. Let's see what happens throughout the offseason. Right now, I'm probably still taking Hawkinson over Higbee.
Oh, without a doubt. Even if Everett is gone, I'm probably still taking Hawkinson over Higbee.
This just mean a lot, though. Everett is a free agent in the MLS as well. He's not.
I believe he hasn't signed with a team in the NHL either, but I'll have to fact check that. But I still believe he has not signed with a hockey team yet.
That's very strange.
All this talk about tight ends leads perfectly into our tight end premium draft. For those of you that do not know what that is, how this works is basically there's a premium on how tight ends are scored. We know what PPR is. All positions get 1 point per reception. The settings for this one, running backs and wide receivers still get that 1 point per reception, but tight ends are scored at 1.75 points per reception. So their receptions are worth a little bit more than actually quite a bit more, almost double than running backs and wide receivers. The reason this came around, that this format got started, gained popularity, is because, as you've seen, the tight end has become quite undervalued in modern fantasy. People only ever start one. So people wanted to find a way to make them a little bit more value. So kind of like their super flex for quarterback, this is a way to provide a little bit more value to a shallower position by giving a premium to their receptions. NBA wanted to know, is this 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, or something else? Yep. The rest of the positions are kind of standard: quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 2 flex. And then we're just doing 4 bench.
How much is the premium for the tight end?
It's 1.75 PPR.
Okay, gotcha. Just make sure.
Sleeper doesn't let you adjust those scoring settings in the mock draft settings, just in league settings. So we just have to know that. Just know draft as if it was 1.75 PPR. Yep, I said 1.75 per.
And then NBA rigged right there. I saw this question in the chat: was Stafford or Goff drafted higher in your leagues last year, 2020? Will that change or stay the same? I went to one league. It's a redraft league. It's a super flex redraft league I was in last year that I won. Just no big deal. No big deal.
You're the worst.
Look at this though. Look at this.
Look at this.
Their draft is literally right next to each other.
No one.
I can see that very well.
There we go.
There you go.
Yep. Stafford, jerk up. That's pretty funny.
The fantasy data ADP, Stafford was drafted higher. Not QB 12. Goff was QB 17.
Mhm.
How that will change is I think they will separate a lot. I think Stafford's going to go up, Goff's going to go down.
Absolutely.
NBA wants to know, JL, which position are you in this mock? That leads to another exciting announcement.
I'm in timeout.
We're changing. Yeah, JL is fired. No, I'm just kidding. What we're going to do this time, Josh had an idea. Whenever we're running through these mocks, we thought it might give a little bit more value if we had one of us sit it out and kind of provide commentary on the picks, on the rounds as it happens. So JL, being the smartest out of the three of us, is going to tackle it this time.
We give you all a chance.
Yeah, we decided to give him the first run at it. Let us draft without him.
Our last mock draft, which I
won.
Mock drop.
And then we have another question. Admiral wants to know, how do I get in the draft? So exciting news and bad news. The draft is full. We put the link in our Discord before we go on stream, and all 12 spots are full. So that leads me to another point. If you guys want to get in on these mock drafts ahead of time, make sure you join our Discord. We'll drop a link in the chat for you guys to join, but that's where we post it ahead of time. And to guarantee yourself a spot, you can get a little bit of access to it early, and you can make sure that you're in on the next one.
Do it.
Well, I apologize to those of you that missed out on it, but join our Discord and you won't miss out next time.
If I had a spot to give you, Admiral, I would give it. But
it looks like the chat tends to agree. JL takes the smartest. You know what?
Yeah, my people.
I'll give it to you. I remember
JL
Pinky
is the brain from Pinky and the Brain.
Oh yeah.
Who's Pinky? Me or Josh?
Neither.
Josh is frozen right now, so we can say anything we want about him.
Josh is a stinky butthead.
Hey guys.
Oh, he's back. So
Pinky the Brain was funny.
I want to know who's Pinky. I'm going to be offended if it's me. I'm just letting you know ahead of time. And
well,
I'm going to be
either you or me. And yeah, I think it could be either one of us, honestly. It's probably
maybe combined we are one Pinky.
Yeah, we're one Pinky. Pinky made that show. Let's be honest.
But I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. We should probably get going relatively soon so we can make sure we have time to fit all this in, get some good analysis on it. Someone says Josh is closest to Pinky.
Fair enough. It looks closest. He didn't say is. I just look like him. I remember what that mouse looked like too, and I don't know.
MB says, but the
pretty
smartest
dumb looking, if I remember.
Who actually predicted that Stafford will end up with the Rams? No one thought of that. JL.
I did mention on Run Boys. I did bring up the Rams.
JL said it. We'll give him all the props, all the credit, and
but
discredit. I was going to say discredit anything else he said. We'll ignore all the other teams.
A bunch of teams.
I named about 31 teams that I thought he could get traded to, and one that I thought he might stay on.
Trade to themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Stephen P says, then who is Dexter? Wait, how did that?
What?
Yeah,
So
I guess
apparently I look like this guy.
I guess if one of us looks like him, it's you.
JL. I mean,
That's fair. That's fair.
What's up, Kev?
Right.
Bird up. If you guys are ready, I'm going to go ahead and kick this draft off, and we can get going. Remember, everyone, this is tight end premium. So tight ends are going to get 1.75 point per reception, where all other positions will get 1 point per reception. So however that affects your draft strategy, so be it.
I'm so nervous.
And away we go. Eagle Dan FF. Oh,
Whoa,
first
so
pick.
quick.
That was so fast. Travis
So
Kelce.
ready to
the
go.
board.
Good pick.
So you guys have made the
let's
same
be
pick.
honest.
Travis Kelce 101 and tight end premium for you both.
Yep, 100%, without a doubt.
What if it's super flex as well? Where is
I
he?
think I would still consider him at the 101. It would be tough, but how Superflex changes my draft strategy the most is in the one, Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Darren Waller are going to be elevated even higher, because if you look at the splits, like they are just this benefits them more than any of the other tight ends. Honestly, that middle tier, I still draft them in about the same place. It doesn't really matter. Now, what it may affect is some of my flex decisions later. Like I may draft some of these guys instead of like a 5th or 6th tier wide receiver. I may take like a Noah Fant or a Mike Gesicki at that point as someone to throw in my flex.
Yeah.
But the biggest change for me is how much it elevates the top 3 tight ends. it affects the top tier of tight ends a lot more for me than it affects any other tight end.
That's fair.
That makes sense. Yeah, no, in this, I would definitely draft Kelsey first myself as well.
Jay, you're running out of time, and he timed out.
G-Man!
So Christian McCaffrey went next, and then George Kittle.
He didn't really time out, I don't think.
I wonder if he's got a
George
Q
Kittle
set
was,
up.
yeah, maybe as a Q.
There goes George Kittle. Swamps on the clock. First 3 picks, 2 tight ends, and Christian. Sorry, JL. I just get so excited. You're the commentator.
You're good. Do your thing. Darren Waller next.
I like it.
Wow.
Darren Waller is
listen, I'm okay with this.
Would you have taken him that early, Josh?
I probably couldn't have. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to go that early. It's just, he probably. It's a fine pick. I like that I'm gonna get good value at running back, or we'll see. We'll see. Or wide receiver. Yeah. We'll
Alvin Kamara and Dalvin Cook went next. Like both of those picks. A little bit surprised by Dalvin going the third RB off the board, but not that much. It's not that surprising.
What about Alvin Kamara going second off the board?
You're on the clock, Simon. Just say it.
Oh, shoot. Thank you. How much time do I have?
30 seconds.
Okay. That's plenty of time.
Yeah, no, I like Dalvin Cook. I think he deserves to go right there. He had such a good season last year.
Yeah.
It does scare me that they're losing Gary Kubiak a little bit, because he was the offense coordinator for the Ravens, in 2014 or 15, and that was when we had Justin Forsett, and he was amazing that year. Justin Forsett,
yeah,
Gary Kubiak, his scheme, it just works wherever he goes. His zone run blocking scheme, and so it does scare me a little bit for Cook.
So Saquon Barkley is who I would have thought would win off the board. So I like that pick, Simon, and then Jonathan Taylor.
Marco, loving some Jonathan Taylor. Admiral says Kelsey should go 1-1. I agree. I 100% agree in a format like this. Kelsey's the 101. Stephen P says you can all be smart cartoon characters. One of you Brain, one of you Dexter, one of you Rick. I call not Rick. I was going to say Rick. I call not Rick.
Go for it.
I want Rick.
I don't want
Rick is perfect. Rick is so perfect.
I do not want to be him.
By the way,
I'll take Rick.
I mentioned this to you guys. I did watch Rick and Morty after our whole debacle last week.
Yes.
And I almost turned it off just because of the amount of times that Rick says Morty throughout that first episode.
Hey, Morty. Yeah, the first season is kind of weird, I'll be honest with you.
108 times. I looked it up. Someone counted 108 times in one episode.
The first episode is kind of weird. I won't lie to you.
I watched more than the first episode. I watched more than the first episode over the weekend. I watched the first 2.5 seasons. I'm halfway through season 3 at this point, and I will say it's very good. I'm not ready to make the definitive call between it and Adventure Time. I need to finish Rick and Morty, then rewatch some Adventure Time, and then I'll let you know. But I do like it.
So much.
I don't think I gave it enough credit for the show, but I'm not ready to make that call yet.
So Justin went Derrick Henry after Jonathan Taylor. NBA went Devontae Adams. Josh went Tyreek Hill. Sean went Nick Chubb, and then Mark Andrews on the turn.
I don't blame you for taking Andrews there.
I was going to say, I kind of like that Andrews pick. I think that's a good time to take him. I know, a lot of people are lower on him, but I think that he'll have a good season next season.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it, but that's just because I'm not an Andrews hater. I'm just not an Andrews lover.
Yeah,
I think his value is inflated in that offense. Like, people are valuing him too highly for what the passing game is going to produce there.
Yeah. JR says, I finished New Girl yesterday. What did you think? What's the verdict, JR?
If you just started it after that draft, that's pretty damn good. That you finished it so quickly. I am proud of you. That's awesome. One time I finished all 9 seasons of How I Met Your Mother in a week and a half, and then I failed every single one of my finals. All of them. But I did that instead of studying
How I Met Your Mother.
But I finished How I Met Your Mother. Man, it was so disappointing when I finished, and I was like, I'm really screwed, and I'm done with my distraction. Mm-hmm. Jay says, sorry for the auto doing and zooming at the same time, but my queue was set. No worries, Jay. We figured your queue was set after your pick. Steven says there's so many little things in Rick and Morty, like little Easter eggs and throwbacks that happen in the background. Yeah, I've started picking up on some of those as I'm watching. There's just little things that make me giggle throughout the show.
Yeah, season 1 is strange. I'll tell you that much.
I feel like it's going to be like most shows where it just takes like a little bit to get into it, but
once you know the characters. JL, you're You're going two-face on us.
Again, what the heck?
I kind of like it.
But yeah, you're up, Simon. I think you know
Yep.
that.
And I'm taking Ezekiel Elliott.
So I normally would never do. I don't like going two wide receivers at the very beginning. But guess what? This is a mock draft. This is what it's for. I want to see how it goes. So
Well, and with Tyreek Hill, DeAndre Hopkins, that's a pretty damn good.
I'm not unhappy.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if
league.
Yeah, we'll see how your running backs shape up, but you can't be unhappy with those two guys on your team.
So DeAndre Hopkins, Patrick Mahomes, DeAndre Swift, DK Metcalf, Ezekiel Elliott, and Cam Akers. It's a pretty solid run. What do you guys think about Mahomes going this early?
I've got no problem with it. I wouldn't draft him that early in a non-superflex league. Obviously, he goes like 101 in superflex, but I have no issue going for a player with that kind of upside that early because there is like league-winning upside in having a player like Mahomes on your team if he reaches his like cap, his ceiling. I have no issue with taking a shot.
I'll tell you what I think about it real fast. I was at the very similar position as Julia Jones here. And NBA rigged. Yeah, I know. And I was sitting there like, man, I feel like the talent here is almost the same as the talent I'm going to get in the next round. It's very similar at least. And, so taking Patrick Mahomes there, I kind of like it. You're not going to get Patrick Mahomes with your next pick, I would assume. So if you really want Patrick Mahomes, I kind of like the move.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. Justin said JL speaking to us from the Beyond. I was.
Now I'm in the Beyond.
I don't go to the Beyond. They don't let me in there.
Yeah. Josh hasn't gotten his Beyond card yet.
Maria said that was dedication to finish New Girl. Really was. This is what, 6 seasons?
Something like that. Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Oh, okay.
Sean says, I feel like Andrews is going to have a bounce back year in 2021. I felt like he wasn't going to be available for my 3rd round pick.
That's fair.
He definitely would not have been there. 100% someone would have taken him.
Yeah, I think right around here, right around where we're at now.
And Josh, Sean, you bring up an interesting point. On the turn, if there's a player you want, you got to grab him. Like, even if you think it's like a round or 15 picks too early, if that's the player you want, you have to go grab them because they're not going to be there in the next round.
Yeah, I completely agree. So after Cam Akers, we had Josh Jacobs by Jordan. Swamp took CEH. Jay took Aaron Jones.
I just got that. I'm sorry, Jay.
Josh stay in bed and bath. I don't get it.
We go to the Beyond. Josh stays in bed and bath.
I was like, what the hell does that mean? And then I
thought that was a Rick and Morty inside joke.
I did at first too, actually. I was like thinking Rick and Morty in bed and bath. I don't get it.
Okay, Jay went Aaron Jones. Dylan went AJ Brown. Dan went Miles Sanders, Joe Mixon on the turn, followed by Michael Thomas, Chris Godwin, and Calvin Ridley.
Ooh,
and then
Logan Thomas. Holy crap!
Wow, Jordan.
A little early there, Jordan. But he was the 3rd overall tight end in PPR last year.
Yeah, if he does it again, then it's a value.
I mean,
I'm about to do something I have not done, I think, in any mock draft or redraft or dynasty at all. I've just loved the running back value. I'm going to take Austin Eckler and go running back here.
Wow.
In redraft, I don't hate.
And I don't hate.
I do hate because I would have loved him on my pick.
Josh, I think my favorite episode of Rick and Morty so far, I want to jump back to that, is the Mr. Meeseeks episode.
That's one of the best ones.
I don't know why. I just really liked it. I felt like it was it was somehow playful and incredibly dark at the same time. Like, I liked that mix, or like it was like playful and happy and kind, but also like twisted.
Hi, I'm Mr. Meeseeks.
That one was my favorite one so far.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
But I also have gotten much less sleep the past couple nights because I've been trying to power through because I feel like I have the inability to focus on other things until I accomplish this task. So I blame you guys for that. The Office is to Patrick Mahomes as New Girl is to Duck Hodges, and I just want to say that is not my opinion. That is JR1616 opinion.
That's a bad opinion, JR.
I like The Office. I like Patrick Mahomes, but I also like New Girl. New Girl is not Duck Hodges. Maybe Matthew Stafford. I'm not sure.
No!
So then we had Austin Eckler by Simon, and then Julio Jones. I thought Julio Jones drafted Julio Jones. Then Antonio Gibson, who I'm guessing is who Josh wanted.
Okay, that's not who I wanted.
So what I want to ask you guys,
I'm happy to take this guy.
There's 3 teams that went 3 running backs to start. Dalvin Cook, Cam Akers, J.K. Dobbins on 1. Saquon Barkley, Ezekiel Elliott, Austin Eckler, and then Derrick Henry, DeAndre Swift, Antonio Gibson. Which one of those 3? I know which one I would pick. It's mine. But I'm a little biased. Which one of those 3 would you guys prefer to have in a redraft league?
It would be AJ's for me.
AJ's?
But it would be for me.
It would probably be AJ's for me too, but it's close.
Yeah, no, it is close. It is close. I don't want to sound like it definitely.
I like Saquon over Dalvin.
But the other 2 I like more.
I don't know how to pick Cam Akers.
You like Cam Akers over Ezekiel Elliott?
I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay.
I do like J.K. Dobbins more than Austin.
I do.
Eckler,
I almost took Cam Akers with my pick instead of DeAndre Hopkins.
Gotcha. Sean says, LOL, I still haven't watched New Girl yet. You got time. 14 personnel pod auto picked. We'll turn your auto pick off before it gets to you.
Yeah.
So you don't do it again or we'll fight you. Dan Turner, woof, such New Girl slander. Yeah, we do not stand for New Girl slander here. That's not us. But if you slander it, that's okay because sometimes we slander your favorite shows. I like the Vindicator episode. I was when it said Vindicators 3, I paused the show.
Yeah, it's
like 10 minutes Googling, like, wait, what the hell? Did I fall asleep? Justin loves you, Josh. He snipes you, but he loves you. Dan says Henry Swift Gibson, clear winner. Man, so just nobody likes it. I think everyone's so obsessed with the new shiny toys, we're forgetting how good Saquon Barkley is.
Yeah, for sure.
So just like we talked, everyone's down with Zeke. For JW, I think I prefer Saquon and Dalvin over Derrick Henry, even though it's very close. I think I prefer Zeke and Cam Akers over DeAndre Swift, even though it's very close. And I think I prefer J.K. Dobbins and Austin Eckler over Antonio Gibson. It's very close. So I don't know.
So it's very close.
It's very close.
I was going to go Hawk here, but now that he's gone, there's a huge break at tight end for me.
So we had so after Antonio Gibson, we had Kenyon Drake. Then Josh took James Robinson, Stephon Diggs, Chris Carson, Justin Jefferson, Mike Evans, Allen Robinson, and TJ Hawkinson. Quite a wide receiver on there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to take my first wide receiver, a little bit of a reach, but I wasn't sure if he was going to make it back to me. This is the guy I want with Matthew Stafford throwing the ball. I want Robert Woods over Cooper Kupp next season with Stafford throwing the ball. Where do you guys rank those two? Who are you taking first, Woods or Kupp?
Absolutely
Woods. Even before
Woods, no doubt. Yeah, me too. But I think Woods is out of the receivers currently there. I think they are losing Josh Reynolds actually, who's a good deep threat. I think they should re-sign Josh Reynolds if it's not too expensive. But Robert Woods is my favorite.
I don't think they will re-sign Josh Reynolds because they have Van Jefferson waiting in the wings. I think they believe in Van Jefferson. Van Jefferson was a second round pick.
They're different receivers though.
I know, but I think they're comfortable with having him as their third receiver. And maybe
really
sliding
side receivers. That's my issue with them right now. Van Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods is an outside receiver, but he doesn't have like a ton of like deep speed.
I was gonna say I think they slide Robert Woods into that outside receiver role, and then slide Van Jefferson in. That's how I view it breaking down. But I don't think you're necessarily wrong that they should re-sign Reynolds, but I don't think they will.
I just think they need some speed. That's all I'm really saying.
Stephen P says people are always hesitant on people coming back from season-ending injuries. I agree. I understand it. I was saying it kind of tongue-in-cheek about Saquon, but I do think maybe people are a little too hesitant. He's unreal talent. Yeah,
and it's an ACL, which is fairly common. And players are typically come back full, have a full recovery from that. So I'm not too worried.
And there goes Cooper Kupp.
Yep. Next was Keenan Allen, Adam Thielen, David Montgomery, Kareem Hunt, DJ Moore, Juju Smith-Schuster, Cooper Kupp, and Terry McLaurin.
There goes Terry.
Great value on David Montgomery, really. I mean, that's like an ending of a tier of running backs.
And great value on Terry McLaurin, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I would take him over probably the 3 receivers drafted before him, honestly.
Sean said, damn it, Josh. He thought he was going to get J-Rob.
Got it.
But made him realize that Diggs was there.
Yes, I did not see Diggs, but I'm glad I needed to take James Robinson.
Mhm.
NBA says I concur. Simon Van will get big bump with Reynolds. Yeah, well, whose brain now? Juan says I have Reynolds and Van Jefferson on that dynasty orphan I took over. Was Steph happy to see that Stafford news, but having Galladay on the same team makes me wonder about his situation. You know, Galladay's got the talent though. Like I'm not saying his value doesn't take a dip, but I would still be okay with having Galladay on a dynasty team. Like you got to be happy having receivers with that level of talent.
And you don't know if he's going to be on this team. He's a free agent as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we'll see where he ends up. Do you guys know other teams' offers for Stafford? I haven't heard anything. Have you guys?
Not official offers. I know. I think 49ers said that they weren't in the run. I know Stafford was adamant about not going to New England.
I heard that too.
Which makes sense considering Patricia got brought back into the fold.
Yeah, I heard that too, and I guess I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either. Next, we have
like
Kenny.
A fun place.
Yeah, you know, if he's the reason that they had bad blood, then I wouldn't want to go to a team with that guy. Kenny Galladay, Amari Cooper, Odell Beckham Jr., T. Higgins, DJ Shark. Solid wide receivers in the last 2 rounds.
Yeah, for sure.
That's 15 wide receivers in the last 2 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, this is the spot to get your receivers, you know. The running back cliff kind of fell off. We're looking at running backs here like Todd Gurley, Le'Veon Bell, James Conner, David Johnson, Leonard Fournette, Melvin Gordon, Mark Ingram, Raheem Mostert. How many of these guys are even guaranteed jobs going into next season? Like, not many. And there's another wide receiver. And this is why I wish I had a running back in the first 2 rounds.
Yep. I totally get that. I think in Dynasty, the strategy of waiting on running back works a little bit. But you know what? I say that you're going to feel gross leaving this draft, Josh, but that doesn't mean you can't put together a winning team. Like the people that go 0 RB or this modified 0 RB, the teams always look a little sketchy leaving the draft. The whole point of the strategy isn't like, oh, your team's going to look great when you leave. It's that you can piece together a running back core via there's always a James Robinson, a James Conner, a Phillip Lindsay. Someone gets injured and you can pick up the backup. It's about being confident that you can capitalize on those opportunities.
Absolutely.
That's Sancho.
It was actually me squeezing his dog toy.
Wow.
It was Sancho's dog toy though.
All right. So after DJ Shark, we have CeeDee Lamb, Deontay Johnson, Melvin Gordon.
What
do you guys think about that Melvin Gordon pick?
I think this is the right range. He was actually, I think I mentioned this on another mock draft stream. He was better and more consistent than people really gave credit to last year. Like, look at where Kareem Hunt was drafted. Not a full round ahead of him, but quite a bit. Melvin Gordon had a similar season to Kareem Hunt last year in that Broncos offense. And I think the Broncos offense can only get better, not worse next year. So I don't hate it. Like, I'm not excited about Melvin Gordon, but I think he's a fine RB2.
Yeah.
And I was a Melvin Gordon. Like I was not singing his praises all season, but looking back, I think it was sneaky how decent of a season he had. Stephen P says, I got Adrian Peterson in the 4th round way back when he came back from his first ACL injury. So I had Peterson and Arian Foster and rode them to win in my league. Yeah. You got to be careful with I think Jason Moore from the Fantasy Footballer always, like, he famously says, like, don't buy the injury dip. But sometimes you can get good value. You just got to be careful. There's different kinds of injuries. With a player like Deshaun Jackson, who's always injured, that's different than a player like Saquon. Just be careful.
Yeah, completely agree. So after Melvin Gordon, we had Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Brandon Ayuk, and AJ Dillon. Josh, I feel like I've been in a few drafts with you now this offseason, and you consistently, reach a round or two for Dillon.
You reach around.
I love my reach arounds, you know.
You think that he's going to be that Aaron Jones will be gone next year?
I am just thinking about, my team and the upside that AJ Dillon has. I am not 100% sure. I'm not drafting AJ Dillon. We've done a lot of mock drafts, and they're mock drafts for a reason. Maybe I wouldn't take AJ Dillon quite as high, but I'm trying to figure out different things. And when I look back at this mock draft and I see that I got AJ Dillon in the 6th round, and I'm like, ooh, look at that steal. Like, that might be exciting, right?
Yeah. On the upside.
The upside's completely there.
My dog is just staring at me.
Because you play with this toy.
Okay, Marco, what are you doing here?
Evan Ingram and Deshaun Watson.
It looks like this is kind of the spot people are
Taking those
thinking
QBs.
like QBs. They're like, okay, the talent level of running back and wide receivers kind of falling off. So,
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yep.
I was hoping he wouldn't take Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's honestly probably my number 2 quarterback off the board next year, so I'm thrilled to get him as the 5th quarterback off the board. It's close between him and Josh Allen, but yeah, I will take Kyler Murray there. Dylan says, I figured McLaurin wouldn't make it back to me. Wasn't sure Moore was, so took Moore first. Well, it worked out for you. You got both. Yeah, I'm not sure. You played the draft game and it worked. I'm not sure which one would have gone first usually. NBA wants to know, Josh, do you know what the 49ers unofficial offer was?
I have no idea.
And Stafford throwing to Ayuk could be interesting. Could have been interesting. Now we'll never know. Unless they throw Ayuk in on defense and let Stafford throw some picks to him or something.
So an interesting. This is, I think, a good like visualization of the weight on the waiting late round QB strategy. Patrick Mahomes, who went in the 2nd, had less points than Kyler Murray, who went in the 6th this season. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to necessarily be the case next season, but depending on how, like, is that big enough of a discrepancy in points like expected next season versus say DeAndre Swift versus Ronald Jones?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. And
it is worth it to take Mahomes there.
No, I would say it's probably not. I'd much rather have DeAndre Swift side of that deal, right?
Like you're saying, you would rather have DeAndre Swift and Kyler Murray than Patrick Mahomes and Ronald Jones.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. But I'm just gonna, in one QB, I'm gonna say it again. Like I agree, that makes sense. But if you want to take that shot at maybe, I think Patrick Mahomes is the most likely quarterback to have that kind of league-winning upside. Could have that like true like 50 touchdowns type of season. And if you want to take that shot, I think the downside is like his downside of a season, if he stays healthy, is still an incredible season, and the upside could win you your league. Again, I probably won't be drafting Patrick Mahomes in redraft non-superflex leagues next year, but I don't think it's like just objectively wrong to take that shot.
Sure, not objective. No, none of this is objective, right? Like,
no, we only speak objective truths here.
Probability wise, I don't know the probability of him having like a Peyton Manning season. I don't know how high that is, but
yeah, I would say it's low for all quarterbacks. But that if you're picking one, like if you had to bet money on one of them to do it, he would be the highest. So that's the only reason I don't hate it.
So after Deshaun Watson, we have Ronald Jones, Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, Tyler Lockett, Russell Wilson, Leonard Fournette, Courtland Sutton, Jarvis Landry, Michael Gallup, Tyler Boyd, and Will Fuller. I almost said Will Ferrell.
Now, Dylan kind of said it, but he said he's going to play the trade game for this one because his last 6 picks have been wide receivers.
Yeah. That's fair.
Hey, trading makes fantasy fun, so I got no problem with that.
Typically, I don't go into a draft thinking I'm going to do it, but if it like plays out that way and the best value on the board is wide receiver, each round, then I'm not that against it.
Yeah.
Depends on your league mates. Some league, you can get into some leagues where people just don't trade or don't want to trade.
That's the thing. You got to know your league. I know this league would trade a lot. So you're good, Dylan, but you better watch out. You're in a league that doesn't like to trade. They're scared to make moves. Don't do that league. I'm joking.
Yeah, it's definitely a little riskier.
What's the 49ers unofficial offer? Jesus. What do you guys think?
I have no idea. I assume it involved a Jimmy G and picks.
Probably something similar. Yeah. I wouldn't say that was their unofficial offer because I don't think they would have made that type of offer where they'd give up that much, but I would imagine that's what the Lions wanted.
Yeah. It was probably Jimmy G plus less. Like it was, I imagine that's probably how it shook out. Oh, shooty do.
You just got up.
Okay.
Yeah. So Myles Gaskin, Hunter Henry, and Deebo Samuel.
Okay. Well, there was a tight end I thought about taking in the last round, but I was like, I think they're going to make it back to me.
And I guess you're correct.
So I'm going with Dallas Goedert.
Now, I
think,
love Dallas Goedert's upside, but Zach Ertz is still going to be there, right? So that kind of concerns me. I'm not saying it was a bad pick. It was not.
yeah, I mean, there's uncertainty with like all of these tight ends in this range. I think his upside might be the highest out of all of them.
Fair enough.
There goes Herbie.
Oh, Herbs.
NBA says, who's smashing this draft so far? Is it me again?
I love the
your
confidence.
confidence.
Yep, love it.
Sean says, and I felt I had to take IU there because he definitely wouldn't have been there around 7. Yeah, for sure. Someone would have taken Ayuk in the 20 picks between you.
Probably before Debo.
Jimmy wants to know, who do you think won the Lions Rams trade? What's up, Jimmy? What'd you say, Joe?
I said easy.
Who is it?
Lions.
Lions? You think Lions Goff plus 2 first is the winner?
Yeah, they got a haul.
Yeah, the Lions won that trade.
I think on paper the Lions won, but the Rams obviously believe they're in like Super Bowl mode. Know what I mean? They believe that this team is a team they can win a Super Bowl with. And if you told any team in the NFL you can trade 2 future firsts for a Super Bowl, they would all do it. I'm not saying that they are. I mean, think one injury to like Aaron Donald, Matthew Stafford, like they're out of the running, but they have a very top heavy roster now that at its peak is definitely capable of competing for a Super Bowl. And if it works, they won the freaking trade. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter any way you look at it. If they win a Super Bowl, they're the winners of this trade. If Matthew Stafford leads them there. Now, that being said, if I had to pick a side, I think the Lions won this trade. They get 2 firsts and for a quarterback that wanted to be traded. But I just wanted to throw that out there.
I agree with both of you. Yeah, the Lions won the trade. I mean, they got so much out of this. And NBA Rig just said with Golf on board, what's likely the Lions draft a QB in the first round. I kind of mentioned this earlier at the beginning of the show, but I'm up on the draft. But I feel like the Rams really gave the Lions more to take Golf. So I don't know if they're necessarily locked in. So I think there is a chance that they could take a quarterback, but
if someone falls to them at 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is a possible. It is a possible. We'll see. But Dan says Goddard is useless once the Eagles draft Pitts. I mean, if the Eagles drafted Pitts, I definitely wouldn't be drafting Dallas Goedert here. Pitts is a monster of a prospect, but that would
an Eagles move to do that.
It would be, especially if they waited and then the Cowboys traded up to draft him and they traded above them.
Classic. All right. So after Goddard, we had Justin Herbert, Mike Gesicki, Raheem Mostert, David Johnson, Brandon Cooks, Zach Moss, and Rob Gronkowski. Gronkowski. Stephen P says QBs get really interesting now. You don't know where half of them will end up, and you got Brady, who's going to be QB for the Saints. Trevor Lawrence. I'm not sure where Trevor Lawrence fits into that comment.
Is he saying who's going to be quarterback for the Saints? Trevor Lawrence.
That would be freaking wild. That would almost be crazier to me than this than this Stafford news.
Yeah, that would be insane.
If somehow they traded up with the Jaguars to draft Trevor Lawrence.
It would be so nuts.
It would be insanity. That would truly be crazy.
Lose it.
We wouldn't hear from Swamp for 10 days. He would be sprinting around the country screaming at the top of his lungs from pure joy.
So after Gronk, it was Marquise Brown, Robbie Anderson, and Michael Pittman.
And it is my pick.
Still some solid wide receivers there, and it's just another reason why I just wish I got another running back at the beginning of the draft. The top tier just falls off so quickly. You're still getting great receivers throughout, and I love loading up one receivers and just locking in those better running backs at the beginning a little bit. So going forward, I know what to do. I'm glad I did this mock.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that strategy. It gets ugly real quick. Pretty much after round 4, Kareem Hunt really is like a massive tier break for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Some people might throw Melvin Gordon in that tier, but I think I'd put like Kenyon Drake, Chris Carson, Melvin Gordon all into the tier below Kareem Hunt, David Montgomery. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but apart from that,
I would put Kareem Hunt right into that tier with the guys you just mentioned.
Okay, that's fair. All right. So after where did I leave off? Raheem Mostert? No, I got to Pittman. So Robert Tonyan, Chase Claypool, and Dak Prescott.
It's good
Potentially
value.
on Dak.
Good value. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
And I
say
like
so.
the Claypool pick too.
Yeah, me too.
How do you guys feel about going Goddard, Tonyan, 2 picks in a row in a tight end premium league?
I don't hate it. I think that since you didn't get one of those like top 4 or 5 guys, it's not a bad idea to stack up on some high upside guys, which both of those guys are, right? If Aaron Rodgers is back and Tunion's there, then I don't see why he wouldn't have a similar season.
I agree. That was my thinking. And whenever Josh said there's so much wide receiver value left, I was looking, I was like, yeah, there is. And there's not many tight ends in that tier that I still like. So I'm fully comfortable with waiting on another wide receiver and grabbing this tight end that could be another flex option, or if Dallas Goedert doesn't work out, doesn't reach his upside, I've got another shot at it. And I'm set at running back. I truly feel comfortable like not even drafting another running back in this draft and just going into the season with those 3.
Yeah,
that was my reasoning. It was like a roster construction thing more than anything, really.
Dylan said would love to try and flip Goff again if you can. That would be crazy. That would be if they were able to do that.
It would be nuts.
Dan said from 2016 to 2024, Rams had 1 first-round pick and just traded him. Yeah, they've been getting rid of all this.
I saw that. Like, so starting, what they traded all their draft picks like after Goff to get Goff, like for 3 years. And then they traded all the draft picks right after that to get Jalen Ramsey.
Right.
And then now they just traded all their draft picks until 2024 to basically get rid of Goff and get Stafford.
Right. Sean said, how are you guys feeling about the Singletary Moss potential free agent RB signing? Seen some speculation that Chris Carson would be a good fit in Buffalo. That would be interesting.
I actually saw the same speculation that Chris Carson could get signed by Buffalo. That would be very interesting. It would ruin them all for fantasy. So I don't want
every single one of them. Yeah, if that like this way, I'm still drafting Singletary or Moss because I think there's some value there in like a 2-headed monster. I think someone's gonna provide fantasy value, but you make that 3 options over there. Yeah, I'm out. I'm not touching them. But yeah, JL, this goes back to your favorite point about where you find draft day value.
Where?
That was like a segue. Uncertainty meets talent.
Yeah. Yep.
So I feel like that might be something that you could look at there. It's not just a guaranteed like nobody's going to produce for you.
Right. Yeah. Look where there's talent and uncertainty that's bringing down some a player's value, and that's typically where you'll find good fantasy value.
Or can find.
Our good friend of the show says, "Hey guys,
what's up, man?
Singletary is trash, guys. Come on. I don't think we said anything about Singletary being not trash.
No, Moss is more the guy that I'm drafting. I just know some people prefer Singletary. Moss is the guy I'm drafting right now. Also, guys, just a shout out to Tyler. His Twitter handle is at @DFF_Carp. He's an awesome follow. There's a couple more guys in here. We'll mention him. Yeah, he's been on the show before, friend of the show. So go give him a follow if you can. I know he's making a push before the Super Bowl.
Sean says,
Simon, you're on the clock. 10 seconds.
Yeah, except I'm the boss.
Oh wow. Cheater.
You're the boss.
Cheater. Sean says, I feel like they could get rid of Singletary and it would be Moss, Carson, double bruisers.
Yeah, that's kind of weird though. Like that double bruisers. You don't see that too often. Usually got like a little like lightning with the thunder.
Yeah, double bruisers. What is Singletary's contract?
And I'll draft Jerry Jeudy there. Dylan, I wanted to touch on this point a little bit earlier. Swamp wants some wide receivers. Trade is open. I would never draft with the intention to trade. You see that all the time. A lot of people who are brand new to fantasy, I don't know if you guys have played in leagues with like work leagues or something, there'll always be the one person who drafts all the quarterbacks and thinks like, now I've cornered the quarterback market. That's if you're reliant on trades happening, that's not the best strategy, or it's risky. But that doesn't mean you can't make trades or that you can't like have that idea. Like, I think I might want to trade this player. It looks like I'll be able to get a good return on him. But I would never enter a draft with that strategy.
So after Dak, we had Chase Edmonds, Laviska Shenault, classic J move right there, Devontae Parker, Matt Stafford, Hayden Hurst, James Conner, Tariq Cohen, Naeem Hines, Marvin Jones, Noah Fant, Jerry Jeudy, Cole Kmet, and Tyler Higbee. And then now just Austin Hooper. A lot of tight ends going.
We're hitting that range where I think the wide receiver tier has kind of fallen a little bit, so people are going for that next tier of tight end.
Yeah. Swamp said he would be a happy boy if Trevor went to the Saints.
Yeah, I freaking bet.
As Clemson fans, would you all be down for that?
No
I
way,
mean, it'd be
that's
great
weird.
for Trevor, for sure.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I like Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm not like the hugest Sean McVay fan as a person, but as a coach, he's incredible.
Sean McVay.
Sorry, I said Sean Payton. Thank you. Sorry, I'm mixing up my last names. Yeah, as soon as I said that, I was like, something seems off. It was all the golf talk that got him on my mind.
Golf talk.
All the golf talk got him on my mind. I'm not the biggest Sean Payton fan as a person, but as a coach, I think he'd be great for Trevor. So I would have no qualms about him going to New Orleans. That would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I have my own issues with Trevor as a person. Don't love him as much as Deshaun, but definitely would be great for him to go to the Saints, I think.
Well, who could you love as much as Deshaun? Deshaun's like the perfect person.
No one.
Maybe Darren Waller, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I'm a little biased.
Tyler said in Dynasty it's okay to draft a trade, and redraft it's a huge trap.
I meant to say that actually. I meant to say that right as you made that after you made that comment, Simon.
So after Hooper, Eric Ebron and Irv Smith went. Dan says drafting a trade never gets you equal value. People know you're desperate. I agree with that. I think it's riskier, right? Because like you don't want to be dependent on your league mates because you inherently give yourself less leverage because all of a sudden you're very unbalanced.
I agree. Yeah, and you can draft a player with the idea that maybe they might be like someone that you want to trade, but it should never be a player where like if they're on your team, you are unhappy about it. Like where the sole intention is to trade them.
Yeah. Now, if your team is relatively balanced and like there's like I mentioned before, there's good. The best value on the board is a player on whose position you have excess of. Then I don't think it's a bad idea. I think like taking this strategy to the extreme is sort of what we're touching on here.
Completely agree.
So after Irv Smith, we had Latavius Murray, Le'Veon Bell, and Jalen Reagor. Wow,
I was hoping Reagor would make it back to me.
Josh is usually the one that grabs Reagor in our drafts.
Yeah, I love Jalen Reagor. He's one of my favorite talents. I'm set at wide receiver basically, and I'm just trying to find some running back upside at this point. And I don't love Le'Veon Bell. I don't even think he looked that good when he ran for the Chiefs, but maybe it's just because he was traded midseason. We see that a lot, but yikes. I don't know. I need the rookies in here.
Yeah, true. Stephen P said, with this point system, Waller would have had 54.75 points.
Oh, man. Stop it. That's not appropriate for me to react to on stream. Nice. Yeah, that was the perfect wah-wah-wee-wah moment. You killed it.
Nailed it.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
Tyler said, covering things you meant to say is what I'm good for. That's why we keep you around, Tyler.
I need someone like that to follow me all the time. And like be in the back seat when my girlfriend and I are driving around. Because I feel like when driving is when I'm not the best with my words because I'm focused on something else and I'll just use the wrong words. I need someone right behind me like, actually, Leanne, this is what he meant to say.
Girl, you looking thick as shit. You're looking very beautiful today. It's like
or unless you meant just for fantasy football, because maybe that problem a little further.
You guys watch Key and Peele, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like when Obama had his like anchor translator.
Yeah.
Classic.
Oh,
What's his name. He has a name.
I'm not remembering at the moment.
Luther.
That sounds right.
Something like that. I'm gonna look it up.
After Jalen Reagor, Christian Kirk, Damian Harris, Henry Ruggs, Jonnu Smith, Corey Davis, Jamison Crowder, Denzel Mims, and Darrell Henderson. And then Marlon Mack. I feel like Marlon Mack's been sort of forgotten.
Yeah.
It is Luther.
It is Luther.
Yeah.
And I guess Marlon Mack has some potential next year, but with Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines, I don't know the role Marlon Mack's going to fill if Jonathan Taylor is like the workhorse. Like there is a role for Nyheim Hines more than there is a role for Marlon Mack, I feel like. Besides
he's going to be a free agent, Marlon Mack.
Yeah.
But still,
what team is Achilles? He'll be the starter.
Achilles? Yikes.
And where is he? I don't know where he's the starting running back.
And Joe Burrow in the 11th. That's some value. So after Marlon Mack, we had Cole Beasley, Joel Burrow,
Joel
and
Burrow,
Nicole Hardman. Let's see. NBA Rig says, you guys think Sean Watson should drop this no trade clause if he wants out of Houston? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. If he wanted out, then he could give his consent to go to whatever team he wanted. This gives him leverage that he can't just be traded without. So.
And I'm all about the players getting a little bit more leverage. This is the teams and ownership already has the majority of the power in these situations. I'm not gonna say he should give away one piece of leverage that he has just because it might make it a little easier.
Yeah.
And absolutely. He said, wouldn't he be a hypocrite if he wants out, but he doesn't relinquish his clause? I don't think so. He wants to go where he wants to go, right? Like it's, he's looking out for himself, which I think players should do. And, the no trade clause protects him from being traded to a terrible organization that's going to, maximize the return that the team gets for him as an asset. And so I don't think that is on him at all. He's looking out for himself, which he should.
Yep. And because the teams won't look, they're not going to look out
for themselves. Yeah.
They're going to act like they are till the moment something goes wrong. And then all of a sudden they're not.
This team has treated him like a piece of crap. It hasn't done anything for him. Like, no, don't help out the Texans at this point. They're a crappy organization in my mind. I mean, figured their shit out.
He doesn't want to trade him. He's under contract, so he must perform for Houston. Then, if they can't get a trade done, but he can hold out, or he can, there's a few things that give him a little bit more leverage, and that's between him and the team really.
Oh, when did Pollard go right before this? Can you move that? Is that who just went? Oh my gosh. Dang it. You sniped me. I was hoping to just.
Especially with Zeke.
Yep. That's what I was hoping to do here.
Listen, for you boys and girls, you got to take Pollard a little bit earlier if you got Zeke, I think.
Yeah.
But
after Nicole Hartman, T.Y. Hilton, Todd Gurley, Tony Pollard, Darius Slayton, Gus Edwards. Simon, I really like the team that you're putting together here.
Thank you. It's interesting. It's not how I usually draft at all.
Solid running back value in the beginning, and then you're filling in that wide receiver value towards the end. You got Kyler Murray and decent tight end. If anything, I might have gone like tight end a little earlier, maybe instead of Shark, but
yeah,
I don't think it's bad. I don't know. It doesn't look like anyone else was really there at that point. So
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. And Shark, I really like the upside with Trevor coming into town there. If anything, maybe I really wish I could have grabbed one of those top 3 tight ends, but I tried to grab 2 like high upside tight ends to maybe get some value. But I'm not under the pretense that I think it's going to give me anywhere near a Kelsey Kittle Waller. Just hoping for maybe that number 4 guy.
Dylan said that he thinks Mac is a free agent.
Yeah, you're right.
What? Okay, I'm on the clock.
Even
Gotcha.
Stephen B said, he doesn't want to go somewhere where he gets sacked 100 times during the season. Yeah, totally fair.
I like AJ Green as the last round pick right now. He's a free agent, and if he signs with a good team, I could see him being very, very fantasy relevant next year.
Yeah, for sure.
Aguilar, is that what you said?
AJ Green.
AJ Green. Yeah, as a last round pick, I have no issue with it.
He's a free agent, so yeah. I mean, Packers. I'm thinking maybe that could be kind of nuts.
Interesting. Yeah, maybe Washington.
I'm not saying he's like number 1 receiver or anything. I'm just, it's he could have some value.
Yes, NBA said he smashed the draft. Had a swell time talking with y'all. He had a swell time talking with you too. NBA.
Great talking with you. Yeah, it really was. And look at this timing. We are just
right on.
Getting
down
this timing.
Right on the money.
You know what, guys? We're acting like it's a coincidence, but I just want to tell you I'm learning, and I planned it perfectly. I was about 2 minutes off, but this is all according to plan. Just kidding. Sometimes we're 15 minutes over. Sometimes we finish 5 minutes early. I never have any idea how long these mock drafts are going to take. Sometimes they go fast. It's not just up to me.
Alex hit you with the whoops for after sniping Tony Pollard, I think.
Yeah, sense. I should have grabbed him around earlier because really, after those 3 running backs, I felt more comfortable shoring up that backfield, but then I had no interest in any of the other RBs after that. Just grabbed some high upside wide receivers.
Yeah. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Gus Edwards, I believe. So Rashad Penny, Alexander Madison, Zach Ertz, Jalen Hurts, Sterling Shepard, AJ Green, Nelson Aguilar, Paris Campbell, Brian Edwards, John Brown, Chris Herndon, and Lawrence Cager. I'm guessing Lawrence Cager is the high school guy that Jordan loves.
Oh yeah.
Russell Gage, Ryan Tannehill. Love that Ryan Tannehill value too.
Yeah, I mean, last pick.
Yeah. I mean, that goes to what you were saying earlier, JL. The late round, there's a reason late round QB is popular. You can grab a guy like Tannehill in the very last round of a single QB draft. No problem.
Right. Now, this is an abbreviated draft for time's sake.
Right.
So.
But this is what, the 12th round?
12th round, yeah.
That's pretty late for where did Tannehill finish this past year? QB what?
QB 8.
QB 8. NBA, did you guys look forward to the critique tomorrow, Wednesday, cheers, and later all? We can do that tomorrow. You guys each want to identify, you want to do 2 teams each, and we can dive into them a little bit. Instead of, I feel like power rankings is asking a lot, but we can each pick 2 teams and kind of break them down tomorrow.
Sure. Or we could just do it as we go too. Just go through them all real quick. And then, so after Tannehill went Blake Jarwin and then Lynn Bowden. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes the draft.
Good draft, boys. Good draft.
It is a good draft. One of the last 2 picks, Blake Jarwin. There was so much hype from this offseason. What's really changed between last season and this upcoming season, assuming Dak signs back again? Anything?
I will say Dalton Schultz showed he is capable, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be relegated back to the fully to the bench.
There's a lot of other weapons there. Stuff's changed, but I understand your point. He still has a lot of upside.
I mean, I think it's worthy of a stash.
Yeah. I guess we'll see though.
I think he's worthy, like what Dylan did, drafting as your 1 tight end at the end of a draft. And like, if you're going to take a guide on there, I've got no issue taking someone with the upside of Blake Jarwin.
Tight end premium, I might want one more a little bit safer to balance out that, really low floor as well. But no, I don't hate it.
Yeah. How do you guys think that setting affected this draft? Besides those first 3 tight ends, do you see, or I guess 4 even, like Andrews, Thomas, what other big changes do you see in how these tight ends are drafted?
Double tight ends. I drafted 3. Yeah. That's not normally going to happen.
I think it lifted all the tight ends up, a few rounds than where they probably would have gone otherwise. And then what Josh said, everyone took 2 or 3.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it gives you more freedom to take 2 because it's not a waste of a pick, like just between starting one of them. Sorry, my words are not working so good right now. In a non-tight end premium league, if you draft 2 trying to hit like big on one of them, the other one's a throwaway pick for the most part. Know what I mean? Like you're never going to start them in a tight end premium league. It's not necessarily a wasted pick. You could throw them in your flex still. Like it's reasonable to throw that other tight end in your flex spot.
True. Yeah. It's interesting. You see this giant sort of chasm between between rounds really 3 and 7. Only 3 tight ends went. So that's pretty interesting. I wonder if that's like if you see that, across average drafts.
Say that again.
I wonder if you see that, like if that's going to be like a common pattern across other drafts, or if it's just, these people in this draft may have affected that, but that tells me something about like when I'm reaching for a tight end.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to do some more of these, and maybe we can do some mock drafts with the non-regular crowd. We can do some best ball drafts or something where there's other people in there. See if we have created a little microcosm, an echo chamber of sorts. But I think we've got a good variety of drafters in here. There's some people don't just blindly listen. NBA has a very distinct draft strategy. Dylan as well. This is I think this might be a good sample, at least on a small scale of what we're going to see in drafts going into next year. Now, what I'm curious about is how is the NFL draft and the addition of those rookies going to affect how all of this shakes out? Yeah. Let's go.
Hi. So much
Probably too high. I love Pitts. This is not me saying I don't love Pitts, but like, look at Clyde Edwards-Helaire last year. Like, sometimes there's just so much hype for these rookies that it's almost impossible for them to return value. And I have a feeling Pitts is going to be drafted near his ceiling. Doesn't make him a bad pick. Makes it a real scary pick, though. What were you going to say, Josh?
No, I was just reading Sean's comment. With tight end premium dynasty, are you guys considering taking Pitts at 102? And that's 102 in a rookie draft. And if it's not super flex, then yeah. If it is super flex, then probably not.
Does landing spot affect that at all?
It does. But, I mean, in a dynasty, he's got elite talent.
Yeah.
In a tight end premium non-super flex league, I would consider it.
I don't know if I would.
I'm not sure I would still, though.
Especially, I think landing spot definitely affects a lot of it. And I think depending on that, you might be able to get someone else at the 102, like a Najee Harris or a top tier running back, and then maybe trade for Pitts at some point, especially if his landing spot means he's going to be like not super relevant for the first year or two. Then you can probably not like getting him right at the draft or right after the draft is going to probably be an expensive acquisition versus waiting a while for that hype to die down.
Yeah.
And in redraft, I just want to remind everyone that rookie tight ends that show up are the anomaly, not the rule. It is rare for rookie tight ends. Now, what I will say is Pitts is a little bit more of the Evan Ingram style wide receiver, the primarily a receiver, not a blocker. And those tight ends do have an easier transition into the NFL because they're not tasked with like the complex blocking schemes of the NFL. They can take longer for tight ends to get on the field if they're expected to be primarily a blocking tight end. Pitts is more of a receiver. He's going to be going down the field, but it's tough for rookie tight ends to make an impact.
Yeah, I agree. What would you guys think, or what would you think about a super flex league, but QBs in the flex spot only get like 2 point per passing TD? So like a muted or like a nerfed super flex.
I think that would be a nightmare to be the commissioner of because I don't know a site that lets you do. But from a scoring perspective,
I don't think it really makes sense, honestly.
It would be.
I don't think you could apply it just to a flex spot. That would be. Well, I think the platform thing. Like, I think that you could probably make a 2 point per passing touchdown setting, but I don't.
Let's just say hypothetically, the platform could do it. What do you guys think of the scoring settings? I
don't know if it adds that much strategy.
I was going to say the thing that would be frustrating to me is you would have to make it like it's not just which two quarterbacks you want to start. You're then also making the decision of which one do you want the passing touchdowns to count for. There's already so much variance in touchdowns per game that I feel like this would just add another element of I don't want to say luck, but uncertainty to which quarterback you're starting where. I would hate to start the right two, like say you have 3 quarterbacks on your roster and you picked the right two to start, but you put the one with 4 passing touchdowns in the flex and the one with 2 passing touchdowns in the QB spot and you lost because of that. I would.
What about like a game time decision? Like Patrick Mahomes is like dealing with something and you're not sure if he's going to play. And so you don't want to put him in, you want to put him in flex. Then, that adds that element to it, which I don't think adds a lot of fun strategy. It's more just anxiety strategy.
He makes a good point though. I bet that was what he was saying though. He goes, I was just thinking about opening up that super flex to something other than a second QB every time. I get why you were saying that now. I understand why you were saying that. You want
nerf it a little bit.
In that version, I don't think it changes anything. I think it makes it a non-super flex league. I don't know. I don't think the points that quarterbacks score, I don't think they're going to score any points. I think it's going to be significantly lower, and you're going to want to start then wide receivers and running backs over quarterbacks. And it's just like, why am I in a draft? Yeah, exactly. So maybe it's a 6 point per passing touchdown quarterback league, and it's 4 points in the flex. That maybe makes sense. I like that.
Yeah.
But again, it's too much to commission.
Sean wants to know. I'm sorry, go ahead.
The league would just have to set it up.
Yeah. Sean says, in Superflex, is Fields still your 102 or Wilson, or does that depend on the NFL draft results?
It definitely depends on the NFL draft a little bit, but right now Fields is my 102.
Yeah, talent alone, Fields is my 102. But there's a definite tier break. For some people put Fields and Lawrence in the same tier. I have a tier break after Lawrence, and I put Fields and Wilson in the same tier,
Yep,
with
same.
Fields being above Wilson. So that where I don't care if Trevor ends up like in the sewer throwing the ball, he's still my 101. If they make a new team and it's just him and then 40 copies of Sammy Watkins, I'm still taking Trevor Lawrence. But with Justin Fields and Zach Wilson, if the landing spot is significantly better for Wilson, then he might be my 102. But as it stands, yeah, Fields is still my 102.
Yep.
Josh, you look like you had something to add.
No, not really.
Sean says he doesn't have-
It all depends on the draft.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait for the draft. I love the draft.
Me too. I'm so excited. Except I hate the stupid sob stories that they like.
I know.
Or it's like
Griffith.
Like, it's not that I hate them like showing these, but they do it just for like them. Know what I mean? Not for the players. They're like, they try to make everything an emotional story for ESPN to bring up viewers. Like last year, whenever T. Higgins got drafted and they kept bringing up his mom's drug addiction, like over and over again. Like, why are you doing that? Like, that's not nice for her to watch.
This poor woman on like airing out all of her business.
I hate that. But I love the draft besides that.
Shaquem Griffin's still in the Seahawks. That draft was awful. Every 2 seconds they brought up that story.
Thinking about the draft.
Yeah.
Swamp says I don't have a second tight end, but I feel like I can stream one or maybe trade. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, you can stream tight ends. It's gross, but you can do it.
Well, he's got Waller, so I think you're not gonna need to stream except for when he's on bye or if he gets injured. Obviously, that puts you in a different position.
And this real draft would be 3 or 4 rounds longer. You could grab a Jared Cook.
Jared Cook. Said stream Jared Cook or Dan Arnold.
There you go. Awesome. Well, guys, do you have any last minute thoughts about this draft?
If you trade in this draft, it would make it more fun.
That was funny.
That was a good one, Josh. I'm proud of you for that. Jared says TV version of a chick flick.
Still talking about a new girl.
And I don't really care about Nick and Jess.
That's fair. I think Jess is just a nobody character. She really adds nothing to the show. So it's all about the supporting characters. The Winston, the Schmidt, the Nick, Tran, CC to some degree.
It was so frustrating watch every other character grow and develop and Jess just stay exactly the same.
Yeah. But you're going to say and watch Tran just stay exactly the same.
No, Tran had such an important development as a character. But I get that. New Girl's not for everyone, but I liked it.
It's for me.
It's for me too. Okay, Josh, great draft. JL, great commentating. Dylan says Tran is hilarious. Dylan, great take and great draft. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed watching this or taking part, join our Discord. JL posted the link in the chat earlier. Maybe he'll do it again right now. He usually does it on cue. He's pretty quick. You guys can join again to make sure you don't miss out next time. Also, you can go back and rewatch this one, all of our other mock drafts on our YouTube channel or on our Twitch. We are at Front Yard Fantasy. And if you turn on notifications, you will never miss another live stream again. Live at 3 p.m. Eastern every day. You will get a notification letting you know that we are live. Oh, and we just got someone joining the chat or joining the Discord. I think that was Tyler. Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Well, I got so excited that Tyler joined the Discord that I lost my spot. But we will be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, playing games, hanging out, talking fantasy, answering your questions. And if there's any other crazy NFL news, we will answer it then. Josh, I know you said it once, but it's so much
freaking fantasy, freaking fun.
I wanted to hear it again.
What bracket are we going to do this week? Because I'm already getting hyped up for that.
Do we want to do the children's shows, like best animated children's shows?
Maybe.
Or do we want to go off of if you guys have suggestions, how about that?
Send it to us in Discord.
Yeah, send it to us in Discord. Any brackets that you desperately want to see this week. And we're gonna put them in a list and then we can choose from that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you guys. I'm excited to get heated on a bracket. I'm excited to play games tomorrow, and we'll see you at 3 p.m. Eastern.
All right.
Yes.
Adios.